Thanks for stopping by, but I do just want to clear a few things up before we start. Now this video is going to be part of a 3-part series on Cyberpunk. During this series we'll talk about all the aspects of the universe and how it was made really, so make sure you subscribe to be notified when the next one comes out. And as always, I appreciate you watching. Cyberpunk 2077 is set in the dark dystopian world created by William Gibson and then built upon and into a board game by Mike Pondsmith. So the board game really built on the universe and, the ethics of the cyberpunk world, real life issues that we have. These are then further developed when CD Projekt Red bought the rights and then brought Mike Pondsmith on board to help advise the creation of their new project, Cyberpunk 2077. Now, the game itself, it does a fantastic job of really peeling back the curtain and showing off the darker side of Night City, one of the many newly formed cities in the so-called New United States in the Cyberpunk universe. But we'll talk about that in the rest of the series and probably this video. But now, you've heard me say darker side a few times now, but I swear that does not do it justice. This video and this series will be a truly deep dive into what makes the world of Cyberpunk tick, involving the lore, the comics, and the game itself. So, Cyberpunk 2077. It covers itself in a blanket of being a simple FPS RPG, but it doesn't take a lot to fall deeper and truly figure out the grime and the grit Night City is built upon. From car companies who control car safety laws to cut their costs, and pharmaceutical corporations who hold back vital medical aid from the dying populace as the cyberware that they fill their bodies with is a more profitable business than even bothering to attempt to save them. Night City was created as a form of utopia by one Richard Knight. Now, Richard was born in California to parents both working as engineers for Caltech. From a young age, Richard showed skills in engineering and general smarts. Though after going and studying engineering, he started a joint venture with his roommate, and it went wrong. So, upset, he moved his major to financial investment to try and figure out where everything went wrong and how he can turn it into a positive. Now, out of school, Richard starts a development company that specializes in advanced construction techniques for cities and small villages. Some point during this time of relative calm and relaxation for Richard, he marries his now wife, Miriam Knight. But after some time, during the 1990s specifically, Mr. Knight was starting to get increasingly worried about an impending capitalistic collapse of the USA. So, with his broad knowledge of now business and investment, he attempts to realize his dream before it's too late. A utopia. Run by corporations, safe from any oncoming financial disasters, or any criminal who dared raise a hand against the working man. A far cry from the modern Night City. So, off Mr. Knight went, gathering investors with the promise of a corporate-run city away from the prying eyes of the US government and its regulators. Corporations loved the thought of Night City. Their own workforce in crime-free neighborhoods where no new business competitors could rise, possibly even steal their workers. No nosy health checks slowing down production, and no labor laws getting in the way of human progress. Night City in this frame sounds like a soulless labor camp for you and your children to live, work, and die in. Because once you're here, once you're in the walls, once you have a job here, what's the point of leaving? With corporations running everything, who do you trust? The media? Well, they're owned by the production company who you work for. They've got stakes in making sure you don't want to leave. Your friends? Well, your company forced everyone to have cybernetic enhancements attached to their bodies, swapping flesh for mechanics, swapping brains, swapping thoughts for software, meaning you are now company property. With company enhancements plugged directly into you, they take your eyes, they take your thoughts, they can show you what they want, and they can keep you away from anything they think will damage the profits of their business. They watch your every move. They listen to your every conversation, and in some cases, they remove anti-corporation thoughts from your head. You are not free anymore. Because you are not human anymore. You are company property, living in company housing, sending your kids to corporate-run schools, and driving on corporate-built roads. Or at least, that's what the corporations thought when Mr. Knight sold them his utopian dream. Arasaka, EBM, and Petrochem all signed on the dotted line as soon as Richard told them about his project. Though, when building a city, you tend to need land to build it on, so off Richard went on the hunt. But before this, we have to take a less serious tone and get a quick lesson in city building. So, to build a city, you need a lot of materials, a lot of raw materials, metal, concrete, and in Night City's case, LED signs. So, this city has to be near an ocean. It has to be on a shipping trade route, and luckily for Mr. Knight, America, it's fucking full of them. You also need access to modern highways, so that people can immigrate in easily. So this means you'll have to find somewhere, easy access to an ocean, somewhere not too far from other friendly civilizations. Preferably, that close by civilization would be struggling with jobs to drive people to this area. But rich property developers, they can't be choosers. Or can they? So, by 1992, with all investors on board, Mr. Knight sends scout teams to find these new desirable locations. One of them, after reading an article in the San Francisco Chronicle, describing a terrible incident that left the town of Morro Bay on the Californian coast empty, the scouts reported back to Mr. Knight. Due to the disgraceful history of the town, Mr. Knight was able to buy all the land nearby extremely cheaply. That is, if $132 million is cheap to you. Something about a gang turf war, it led to the deaths and maiming of over 10,000 people. But that wasn't important to Mr. Knight. He now had his land, and he had his investors' money. He began construction on his dream city. Arasaka, the Japanese megacorporation, helped clear all the land and continue the building process. And so it was, built and christened Coronado City, though you're probably realizing that's not the name I know it by. To everyone around the project, the city was known as Project Night City, due to Mr. Knight's name, but it was only renamed later on. With Night City completed, Richard Knight stood upon his penthouse balcony, looking down on a, yes, currently empty, but a perfect business utopia, where people for generations can come, live, work, and enjoy comfortable and affordable living. But you're probably now wondering, how did Night City go from such good intentions to the worst city in the new United States? There is a lot of mystery and uncertainty surrounding Mr. Knight's death. Some think Arasaka, others the mob. But what is certain is whoever did it changed the course of history forever. After Knight's death, the newly appointed city council official renamed the city in his honor. As well as the city being named after him, Mr. Knight's now widowed wife, Miriam, restructured his company, and then again changed its name to honor her late husband. With Mr. Knight gone, corporations were free to enter and control the newly built city. Now, Night City is a place no one dreams of going, and only the depraved and desperate can call it home. People in Night City don't have it easy. Homicides, theft, identity theft, things that in our society are less common. But now, Night City is rife with it. While some would probably give up and look towards another area, escape Night City if you will, others will look towards groups or families. These gangs help people escape from some of the more dangerous areas of Night City, where the governments and corporations have fully abandoned the area, not even using it on a full map of Night City anymore. Whether you feel safer and want to hang out with the tattooed Chicano culture group in the Valentinos, or something more brutal and dark hungers inside of you, like the Maelstrom, a group who deeply believe the only way to escape the system, the claws of the government, the claws of the corporation, is to swap flesh for hardware. And that's one common thing all these lowly gangs have: escapism. Escaping either literally or just for a moment in time. You can run around and forget about the lingering doom of the world you live in, but it'll always be there, lingering, waging its silent war. If you're the boss of one of these many gangs maybe in Cyberpunk, you've made it, or as close to the corporations as they'll allow. But it's not all acid rain and brain dances at the top, believe me. Looking in Cyberpunk lore, you'll see stories of public executions, government assassinations, blackmail, kidnapping, ransom. The corporations still own you, whether you're at the top or the bottom. Though if you're at the top, putting yourself in a position of power, it only made your number stand out more on the scream sheets, because that's all you are. You are still a number. You may think that they have your best interests at heart, but once your usefulness dries up, and believe me it will, they won't just let you go, or dispose of you like in a movie. They will make sure you never existed. Killing families, killing friends, until you are gone, till they won't dare utter your name at the afterlife. That's a funny thing, actually. Those drinks at the Afterlife bar, I mean. They're named after NC legends from the past and the present. How come we can say their name? We can wear t-shirts, we can arm ourselves with flags in their honor, but not yours. Take Rogue, for instance. Took part in the Arasaka Tower bombing with one Johnny Silverhand. A rocker boy with a taste for an America gone by. She's roaming the streets right now. She has goodwill with these evil corporations I keep blabbing on about. She has a drink at the afterlife. So does Johnny. But that's the difference. Johnny got caught, dying 1,000,000 miles away from home. From a monster worse than anything your mum read you when you were a child, worse than any creepy edit you've seen on YouTube. It's not coming for your flesh, it's not trying to scare you, it's not trying to steal you while you sleep in your bed. It's coming for your soul. For the right that you are given as a human to die. Johnny now lays underground somewhere. Nobody truly knows. But while he rots, one of his closest allies walks free. What did she do? What did she have to do to get away? After all this, is it worth it? Truly worth it? Worth living through the last bastion to a normal world, holding out for a world where the trees still grow, common decency still exists? Or is it exactly that, holding out for nothing? Is it truly beyond repair, or is there still fertile soil beneath the concrete jungles? People come to Night City, to work for a better life. A light at the end of the tunnel, if you will. But what happens at the end of that tunnel? No one knows. An escape, maybe. A slight bit of freedom. The chance to live in the same four walls, just in a suit and a skyscraper. As the truth is, the corpse, the people truly in the corporations doing their bidding, they are just as bad off as you. Leaving your house while not being followed by the staring eyes of corporate entities who have taken the masks of our elected officials is a rarity. They are breathing down your neck, no matter how many people you push away. We may never know what a brilliant and beautiful utopian night city looks like, but it'd be fucked if we didn't try. 'Cause that's what we do. That's what humans do. We fight, we prolong, we team up, we help each other when we climb the ladder to freedom, the ladder to the freedom that we want, that light at the end of the tunnel. We turn around to help our people up with us. But what do we do when it's us who's the problem? And it's easier to just sit back and tinder the flames and watch as it goes up. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. No matter how tall you build your throne, it's still just that. Dust.